Hi, good evening. Now we all do. Welcome to your match recap. And today's game against Burton Albion. This is the closest I've probably come to doing this after a full-time whistle. It's only been about half an hour since the whistle's gone. It's a slightly different setup today. I'm joined with two guests, two friends I've known for a long time, sadly. Then I'm just going back to school. So joined with Dom and Charlie to my right-hand side. And we're just going to spit fire on today's game, really. Not quite what Rovers were looking for today. So Dom sitting to my right next to me. How do you reckon we did today?
It's tough, isn't it? We had a lively start. First half we looked all right. I think, but then just after we got the goal, we just sort of seemed to get a bit flat, and obviously that's when they equalised. But it's some good individual performances. I think both Daly and Hanlon looked decent up front. I think they both looked lively. And again, McCormick, Westbrook running things through the middle. But it's not what we wanted. But I guess we got to take it, haven't we? We got to take it. We played poorly against a poor side, basically.
Yeah, it was one of those games where I thought if they just turned the tempo up by another one or two, they'd have been all right. It almost seemed after Rovers got the goal, Charlie, that they kind of just sat back on their laurels and just thought, we'll grind the game out, have a 1-0, bring on Upson and just hopefully see it out. But as we saw, Burton, their only real chance they had of any anger, and they scored from it.
To be honest, I don't think the goal they scored was even a chance. It was a ball whipped in, it was a scramble in the box, and it was just poked home. It wasn't even really a chance. It should have been dealt with long before.
It wasn't a moment of quality or anything.
That's what I mean, yeah. It wasn't like, good pass here, good pass there, or, they deserved that. It wasn't even a chance. It was a corner, but it was a scramble in the box at the end of the day, and it should have been dealt with before the ball hit the deck. It should have been headed clear. We had every man on the pitch in the box. Should have been gone, and it's one of them cliche things. You go 1-0 up, you pull everyone back. I mean, who was it they took off for Upson? Was it McCormick? McCormick, sorry?
It was McCormick they took off.
Yeah, so they're bringing. They've done the old 1-0 up. We'll bring an attacking player off, put a defensive player on. And they've sat back on the 1-0 lead and just invited pressure. I think you can't just go ultra defensive if we're talking FIFA terms. You know what I mean? Because it invites that pressure from the opposition, and I think that's what we did today, and that was what we did wrong. We should have kept it back and forth and counter attacking football. You know what I mean? I feel like we invited the goal at the end of the day.
Sorry, no. Is it going?
Yeah.
Oh, for God, sorry, I didn't see the bar moving.
No, that's all right.
Sorry, right.
That's all right. I've got that. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's another goal Rovers can see from a set piece. It's becoming a bit of a common trend this season. Like I say, it wasn't a moment of real quality. It was just a ball put into the danger zone, which we just can't seem to deal with. And we've had this sort of going on all season, really, ever since the beginning. Why do you think that's not been stamped out on the training ground yet?
I don't know. Sorry.
You look so lost.
I don't know what to... Defenders aren't good enough?
No, it's not that. No, it isn't that, because the defenders are good enough. It isn't that. Do you know what I mean? The defenders are good enough. And literally everything we're hearing from the press and through the media is that the training is going fantastically well. So I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that the defenders ain't good enough. And I don't think it's a deal with training. I think it's just a common case of... I don't know. We just invited the pressure, and then we fumbled underneath that pressure. And for me, I don't think it's an issue with the defenders being good enough, or an issue with training not stamping out the issue. I think it's genuinely just. I don't know. It's a hard one to put your finger on, but it does, like you say, it is a common occurrence that we just ain't good enough from set pieces.
No, and it was a shame because in a way, today was kind of one of those games, if you like, for Rovers. I don't think Rovers looked especially bad, but I don't think they looked particularly good either. No. They did have a couple of chances, to be fair. I mean, you got to look at it in terms of on another day. I think it's Nicholson at the bar. On another day, that goes into the back of the net.
Yeah. And we're forgetting the penalty shout.
Penalty shout. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. I mean, if the crowd was there, would that have been given a penalty?
And every team gets them, doesn't it? Every team has a dodgy decision, so you just got to sort of take it and move on. But like you said, the Nicholson against the bar and various. I thought again, Josh Hare with the deliveries is just. He's got a magic right boot, Jake. He's got a magic right boot. Yeah.
He's some player.
It comes back to it though. Like we're sat here now after the 90 minutes, and we're saying, "Oh well, it should have been a penalty. Oh, if that ball didn't hit the bar, if it went in." But at the end of the day, we shouldn't have conceded the goal that we conceded.
No.
And if we didn't concede the goal we conceded, we wouldn't be sat here now discussing the penalty we should have had, or the ball hitting the bar. We'd be saying, "Oh, 3 points, I'll take that. Well done, Ben Garner." But now we're sitting going, "Oh, I wish that went in," or "I wish that was a penalty." But at the end of the day, we need to stamp out these set pieces. And like I say, everything reported back from the training ground is, training's going brilliantly.
It's positive,
It's very positive, yeah. But show us then. Show us what you're doing at the training ground. I mean, I think that one of the goals we scored against Lincoln, was it? No, not against Lincoln. One of the goals we scored against Northampton was, you could tell it was a training ground drill. But other than that, what else have we seen on the pitch that's clearly from the training ground? Not much.
I think the style of football is starting to be implemented. You can clearly see
you
that.
can see that,
They're trying to work the wing backs into the game, and I'm an old school guy. I still, I call me old. I'm 22 in a few weeks, but I still miss the times where I used to have your right back and left back, and you had your two midfielders in front of him. That would go down the wing, and your right back would overlap and so on. And that's not really a thing anymore. But you see what Rovers are trying to do. But again, it's just we're going to sound like a broken record. But talking about the issues with the goals we're conceding from in defensive areas, we had that last week against Lincoln. I know it was unfortunate it's going off for Baldwin. I think Addy missed it. I think a Lincoln player was behind him. But overall, I think sort of issues aside, like I said, I don't think. Do you think Rovers missed a trick with the sub? Do you think they maybe should have?
Yeah, I mean, we said it during the game about bringing Upson on too early. I think obviously we've got we were saying before the game again the look of the bench now is we've got obviously Ostuma's come in, you've got Nicholson, Mitchell Lawson, all these guys who can come on and make a difference. I think Ostuma could have come on maybe slightly earlier. I can't remember when they got their equaliser, but
it's about 10 or 11 minutes. It's difficult. You can see the goal with 10 minutes to go. You kind of you could, if you're going to make a decision, you've got to make it then.
Exactly.
You can't wait another 5 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't really have the chance to sort of put his stamp on the game. But it's difficult. I mean, I think we brought Upson on slightly too early because he just doesn't provide obviously the same creativity that the other three guys do. But it's difficult, but it's sort of now in hindsight, isn't it? And we sort of look back and go, what if this happened? What if that happened? But it's difficult to sort of judge now.
As one of those afternoons, Charlie, you've not been probably Ed Upson's biggest fan, if I'm honest. No. I'm not saying, but he's not got the speed, has he?
It's not all about pace.
No,
a bit like FIFA 21. It ain't all about pace.
But you do notice that he gets the ball and it's not. By the way, can I just say for the record, we're not sticking this on Upson. I'm just making conversation.
No. But I think he's just a backward step. Why have we signed a player like Ben Little and not even put him on? I don't know if he's injured or anything. But
I haven't heard anything about it.
And I'm all for having experience in the team, but when you're playing a game and I think we were 1-0 up at the time. But that early on in the game, it comes back to what I'm saying earlier. You're basically inviting the pressure, bringing on a player like Upson, who's a defensive-minded player.
Yeah.
You're just saying to the other team, all right, we're going to sit back now, come and have a go, and we'll try and stop you.
Which, to be fair to them, they did come and have a go, and it worked. They got the corner, it got crossed in, and they got their goal from it.
We were saying during the match that they didn't look particularly good. They're actual strikers. Their midfield were creating a few opportunities, and the final third just wasn't there for Burton.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think when bringing Upson on, all we did was say to midfielders, right, we're going to sit on our edge of the box. You can whip the balls in, and we'll do what we can to defend. And clearly, corner comes and we can't defend it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, for a long time I've not been a fan of Ed Upson, but he does have a role within the club, being that experienced player, being that bit of a journeyman that's been to different clubs and got the experience in League One level, which other players in our team don't have.
No, which, I think it's important to point out with Upson, like you said, he's been around, and with the team that Garner's building now, he's obviously going for the youthful sort of approach, and we need. I mean, we said as well. We need the experienced heads. I mean, I think you said, Jake. You've only got Aimer at the back that's sort of at his time in the Football League and sort of knows sort of the ins and outs of it. And it's So we do need a player like Upson, but yeah, like I think Charles said,
it's finding the right job for him. I think.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, finding the right time of the match to have him involved.
Yeah.
Even if he just kind of doesn't play. I know it sounds really strange, but just having him as a part of the dressing room to be that bit of experience and that bit of knowledge in the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if he isn't playing, I think he does have a role within the team, but I just don't think he's at the calibre that we need anymore.
Yeah, the reason, apart from the defensive side of things, the only reason I can kind of see why we're Upson on, Burton's biggest problem going into the game was their defence. They scored a few goals, but defensively, they're woeful. Yeah. And we didn't do enough to break them down. We didn't even have a couple of half chances here and there. I know Hanlon had a couple of good chances here and there. And we are going to come on to the goal. Daly, had that, as a commentator said, had that been a week or two ago, he might have caught that up. But striker's credit, composure, done well to take that around the keeper into the back of the net. You can't see that away from him now.
No, you can't. He's, like I said, during the first and second, well, both halves. He's,
I thought there was 3 halves.
both himself and Hanlon, I think, looked lively, and Daly especially. I think it just sort of that goal the goal at Lincoln last week was just sort of giving him that extra sort of boost. It's like you said, the composure to take it around the keeper. If that had been a couple of weeks ago, he might have sort of had a go where he was, and he might have gone horribly wrong. But no, I think he showed great composure to take it around him. But hopefully, I really want Daly to kick on and sort of be that sort of supporting striker for Hanlon, and which I hope he can be. And if he can get those sort of little goals every now and then, sort of preying on if the opposition's got a weak defence like Burton had. But yeah, if he could get those types of goals, and so be it. But he looked lively today.
It's just a shame where we had a real good chance. I thought after we got the first goal, I thought, right, come on, let's kick on and get another one. Especially because it was one of those where it was a mistake at the back, and you think you've capitalised on that, and now they could crumble apart. And I'm not saying you're going to score another 4 or 5 goals, but I thought we should have gone on and gotten another goal within that 5 or 10 minute spell. But again, there's no point kind of sort of being too down about it. But as I said last week, it's all well and good beating teams like Lincoln. You've got to follow up with beating teams like Burton. We've got another winnable game Tuesday. On a positive note, we're unbeaten in 3, which I know doesn't sound like a massive amount, but considering how poor Rovers were in the second half of last season, you've got to take any bit of credit. So I don't think we're all too down in the dumps. It's just one of those real missed opportunities there. Final thoughts from you, Charlie. Where do you think Rovers need to improve on the training ground before Tuesday, even if we are in the training ground before Tuesday? Because that's a quick turnaround.
I'm going to be cliche and say the set pieces. I mean, you can. It just seems like every bloody goal we concede is a set piece, and it needs to be stamped out. In fact, I mean, it's hard defending set pieces.
Oh yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but
we'll do a job for him.
Oh yeah, get in there, innit? I mean, but if there was one thing that we had to prevent from our game or add to our game, it would be the conceding goals from set pieces. That's the one thing I can say we need to work on in the training ground.
Don, where do you think?
Yeah, I echo what Charles said. But I think also just mention the Yokola save from Harry's.
Oh yeah,
Harry's spoon clearance. That save. But yeah, I think echo what Charles said. Just at the back again. Look, obviously going into the season, we got a new. Baldwin, Aymer, and Harry's. How many games have they played together? But
I think Harry's played a couple of games last year, but he's like a new sign.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I don't know whether it's just one of those things that will sort of get better with time, and we might be looking at it in December, January time, going these are with the 3 of them together looking good, and it's a shame that Kilgore's sort of out of action or sort of like on the sidelines and that, but like I said, we could be looking at them in the future and going, the 3 of them together work well. But it's I think it's just sort of comes with time, you know. But,
yeah, definitely. It's one of those, I think, because in game itself, right, so when we're in-game situation, open play rather, defensively we're all right. It's just it's just when we deal with set pieces, it's like God. It's like you can almost feel it on you. So just before we wrap up today, who would your man of the match be, Charlie?
I think, me myself, I would go for Josh Hare. I think with the last 10, 20 minutes to go, when we were pushing for a goal, I think that ball going out to the right-hand side. Tutondo did well today, but I don't think anything compared to his last couple of games. I think whenever the ball went out to that right-hand side, you knew 9 times out of 10 the ball was getting whipped in and there was going to be an opportunity. And I think, for me, Josh Hare would be my man of the match.
Dom, who would you go for?
For me, it would be between Hare and I'd say Daly. I think Daly had a good one. I think he had another opportunity. I think it was when he nicked the ball off one of the centre backs. He's just like that striker that is just right on the defender's tail every single time. So I go Daly, but I think Hare had a great game.
Oh, and I got the casting and vote.
Go on,
because I was Owen and Anna were both like, oh dear, I'm going to give it to Hare by a hair because they were both excellent, and Leahy, even if he doesn't score 20 odd goals a season, he might get sort of between 8 to 15. That's quite a large.
Leahy?
Huh?
Leahy?
Sorry, did I say Leahy? Daly. Sorry, Daly. So. Well, I think he's our joint top scorer still.
He is. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Daly, he might be one of these players who gets sort of 20 goals, he might, barely hit double figures, but he's going to be a real pain in the ass. So defenders hate. But I've got to give it to Josh Hare. I think consistently putting those balls into the box. Very rarely they went up the shits.
Yeah.
So
they're always dangerous.
They're always accurate, and you can do a little bit. Again, no, there is positives to come. Otzuma, we didn't really see anything of him. We know that's to come. He's going to be a good player for us. I think. I say Nicholson's not really getting a run in, but when his time comes, he's got the potential to be something. So
Barrett as well.
And Barrett,
back from fitness,
Mitchell Lawson as well. We got so many exciting sort of attacking options that aren't really getting a say in it, but
all in good time. I think we'll see a couple of changes Tuesday.
Because
I think Rovers are now playing Tuesday night for the next 3 or 4 weeks in a row, so that'll be testing to the squad. I'll probably be up on Monday with a match preview ahead of that one. Thank you so much for listening to this one. I want to say thank you to Charlie and Dom for coming in today. More me going to them. But thanks for coming on and offering your input. It's been good to have a bit of a good chat. If you all liked it, let me know, and maybe we can do a few more of these in the future. I'll be back on Monday for my match preview ahead of the game against Shrewsbury, and I'll see you all then. Have a great rest of your weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.